Hey, um, my face is looking kind of crappy, I guess, because I've been crying, but, I don't believe in hiding stuff. My parents continue to treat me as a child, and the moment that I get angry at them for, pretty normal reasons that you would get mad at parents for not listening and treating you like a child, and continually nagging about things that aren't important when you're trying to plan a life for yourself and get an education. And because my parents don't like how I'm doing it, they choose to to not speak to me and to kind of force my hand to do some kind of immature behaviors, like call them, numerous amounts of time because I don't feel listened to. And that's like the worst thing that you could do to me. If you ignore me, I can tolerate anything. Lying, cheating, stealing, whatever you can throw at me. But if you ignore me, that is like the ultimate disrespect. And my parents are guilty of that numerous times over, more than they yell. So, if they want to ignore me, then they're going to have to watch my life go down like crap. Either way, it really doesn't matter if I have them in my life or if I don't. I mean, they're horrible parents. They're wonderful people, but horrible parents. Um, I won't go into the story because it affects my brother's life also. But they are horrible parents. If you don't believe me, I'll give you plenty of examples. Um, but that's the way it is. That's what child abuse is. People don't want to open their mouths because they don't think that what they say is going to make a difference. But I have a lot of faith in power of numbers. If one or two people was willing to go say, "Hey, Barbara, you should really listen to Melanie. She may have something to say to you that you may not be willing to hear, but is really important for you to hear." If people were interested in saying that once in a while, I probably wouldn't be where I am today. People respect the nuclear family so much that they allow horrible things to happen to children, to families, and they look the other way because it's stressful to get involved. But let me tell you something, people. What's stressful in the moment becomes a huge problem later on in life. Huge. Becomes drama lifetime movies. What you don't try to handle to the best of your ability today will become a huge problem later in life. And my parents still have not learned that lesson through my problems, through my brothers. But that's all I have to say. So be willing to get involved more than that you feel comfortable sometimes. It may do more good than you think. And I really have no regrets other than the tone that I feel like I had to use because I wasn't being listened to. I wish I could say that stuff with a smile and a chuckle, but I'm not that good yet. I will, though. When I'm prosecuting really evil parents that are like 10 times worse than mine, I'll be able to say that speech with a smile and a quirk. But until then, you know, I'm an emotionally abused child. And people really don't know what that means because when I explain it to them, even people that counsel children try to convince me that I'm not abused. And they, try to tell me that my parents love me. But you know what? That really doesn't matter because the the road to hell is paved with good intentions. That's what it is. The road to hell is paved with good intentions, and that is never emphasized in houses of worship. Anything. It's all about being honest and truthful to yourself these days. Everything is that and being one with God. But they don't emphasize getting off your ass and helping others. And I can't tell you what a world of good that would have done me and countless others that I know. Because people don't want to get off their ass unless they feel effectual in doing so. They just don't. They want to live their lives their way. It's that simple. In the end, you can love people, but sometimes you have to push them beyond their comfort zones to get them to change their ways. And people can change. It's not hard. It's not something that is that hard. If you approach it nicely and you're not mean about it, one person at a time, people will change. You just have to know how to help it along. And sitting here not telling people how much pain I'm in is not going to help the world. Because even if I don't achieve my goals, I still have to let it be known that I asked for help. People don't give it to me, well, that's on them. But I have to do the best that I can to live my life for the good of my family, the sacrifices that my grandfather made. And World War II truly inspires me. Because when I interviewed him, it was an 8th grade project. When I interviewed him for his, for the part of World War II, they, of course, teacher asked to interview someone in your family, and get their experience of it. It's for the family tree project. And I asked him to talk about it. He says, I don't want to talk about it. I want you to write something. I want you to write something about you, I think was his thing. He said, it's too horrible to describe. War is not something to be glorified over. And he wanted to tell me, no, nothing about it, because all he could think about was the sorrow of losing so many people. And you know what? That is something, even though I think, sometimes I wish that he had done more to let out his anger, it still inspires me so much that even though he didn't know the best way to get out his feelings, it inspires me so much how honest he was with himself at what he was not willing to tolerate and glorify. And that's a war that, a lot of people, they like to tell their stories and, get pats on the back and, they feel proud of themselves. But my grandfather mourned that time in his life. It was not fun for him. He told me, how if he could change it, he wishes he'd never have to fight, but he fought for his children and his family. He never said he did say for his country, but he emphasized for his family. And if I allow my parents to continue to act like retards, then I'm dissing him, and I'm dissing all children that don't get help when they need it, and then become ineffectual adults, which I am not willing to accept. Not on any uncertain terms. If I fail, it's going to be my failure, not theirs. They're going to have absolutely nothing to do with my failure. Their stupid behaviors are going to have absolutely nothing to do with my failures. Not anymore, anyway. So, and I'm not saying I didn't make any mistakes. There are plenty of mistakes I made, but a lot of them, stem from them having extremely bad behavior as parents. But I just wanted to say that if you have a chance to help a child, go talk to their parents and don't say, oh, well, that's just a kid, acting out. Investigate a little bit. See what you can do to get the parents to understand their child and the child to understand the parent. Not to try to keep the peace, but to try to promote understanding and potential to be understood. That's the most important thing ever. A person has a divine right, in my opinion, to have the chances to achieve the best they can. And my parents want that for me. They just have absolutely no other way of looking at it than what how they want to do it. And then comes all kinds of anger and ridiculousnesses. But anyway, that's my thoughts on that, and that's why I'm a mess tonight. And if you want to comment, you're more than welcome to. Sometimes I don't think you guys want to because you don't know what exactly to say, but the more you say what you say to me privately in public, the more it motivates people to change. Not just my parents, but abusive parents in general, who think that they just got it rough and their kids are causing them problems. You know, it sometimes is the kids that, are, being hard and rough, but sometimes it is the parents and they need a wake-up call. And I think my parents are one of those people. They are good, well-meaning people, but well-meaning, again, everyone, is the road to hell. It does not mean anything. Being well-meaning does not mean a darn thing. If you truly love someone, you will get off your ass and do whatever you have to try and help that person feel better. You will not just sit there and tell them how much they are loved. That doesn't help anything. So, just want to put that out there. Melanie Edmonds signing off.